Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. Our tigers are trying to stay cool here at Big Cat Rescue in Tampa, Florida. And this is Zeus Tiger. And I just got through telling Jamie that maybe we should move him into one of the cages that doesn't have a pool so that the tigers who use pools could actually come over here and use his pools, since he never uses them. And then what happens? He hops right in. I apologize for this being shaky. I was on my golf cart and didn't have my stabilizer with me. Hi Penny, hi Jerry. Hey Pam. Let me see if I can get a better view on him in there. I can stand the shakiness for a minute. I'm going to go in closer. I think he'll be okay with that. So nice to see Zeus enjoying his pool. It's only like 77 degrees this morning. It's not that terribly hot yet. Good morning, Kathleen. Diana, we just went by and found Zeus getting into his pool, so I thought you guys might want to see that. Hey, Eva from Hungary. Cajun County. I don't know where that... Oh, Cajun Country. I'm assuming that's like in the south in the U.S. Are you swimming? I'm swimming. Now I'm swimming. You guys got to see this. Zeus is in his pool.
Oh, he was in his den, walked by the first time.
Some of our fans from Facebook are here visiting from Arizona. I just got through telling Jamie we should move him over there and put one of those cats that'll actually use a pool over here. And what's he do? He gets in the pool. He's like, oh no, that's my pool.
Okay.
Was Joseph the one who was splashing in the water?
Yeah, it would not be Joseph.
Lions, not so much.
Oh, that's right. Lions don't do water.
This is a choice that it used to have.
Why does he have one light colored eye?
Yeah, he's actually got poor eyesight in both. When we rescued him, he was so skin and bones from being starved in places in New York. We actually had to wait for him to get healthier to sedate him and have an eye specialist come in. And believe it or not, the cloudy looking eye actually a little bit better than the one. He does get eye drops every day.
Baby. Oh, and he's already got that down. Wait, his eyes.
Are you done?
Careful, big boy. It's a big step.
Here, we did it. Good job. Well, almost.
Yeah, it's easier over here. It's less of a stretch. There you go.
You can do it. Here, you did it. Oh, you're so smart.
Good boy.
Good boy.
Whew.
Oh,
Gotta go take a nap now.
That was exhausting.
He looked bigger before he got wet. Hey everybody, it's Carol at the Cat Rescue, and that's Gail. She's getting ready to bring the bobcats out that we rescued from the Mobile Zoo last night, and they're going to take them over to the Winsong Memorial and weigh them. get pretty close to them. If
Yeah,
it were
so
tigers, I'd have to keep you back.
I'll stay out of the way.
The one in the blue carrier is named Sioux, like the Indian nation Sioux, and the one in the white carrier is Lakota. You guys are welcome to come on into the hospital.
I'm gonna come out here so there's a different perspective for me.
And you can follow them right in.
Okay.
Oh man, that is a huge thing to have to carry.
That's what I mean. She or he saw me and
All right, now take the towel off the front. Do you have weights on the carriers to know?
We'll weigh the carriers after the fact. Okay, let's go ahead and give him a second and then. Okay, put that back across the door so you can carry it. Okay, so let's.
I'm already translating.
hard to leave those things a while to America.
Yeah.
I've seen them before in the wild.
What happened?
He snarled at me.
So they're not weighing them?
Yeah, they
just did it.
Yeah, what they do is they weigh the cat in the carrier, and then afterwards they weigh the carrier to know how much the cat weighs.
Load up on the
Jump into your car?
Need
Yeah.
one of you guys to drive.
You can hop on here, sir. You can hop on here.
I need to grab all those that bag over there.
Oh, are you
Yeah,
driving?
yeah, Gail
Oh,
was
okay,
one of
she's
us
gonna
that
drive it.
Sorry about this.
You might want to let him sit up front so he can shoot through the front window if he's going to do any following.
You know where we're going? Are we going to...
Across from Gabrielle, I think.
Afton, can you switch to safety? Yeah.
Okay, they're coming on your side here. Do you need a ride? Hop on if you do.
You cannot find a moving vehicle.
Given your roller derby skills, I'm sure you can. She's our roller derby representative.
She can do it on skates. That's no problem.
Sequence, if you guys want to head over to Ginger's Old Cage, you guys can watch me walk home and hold on to your enclosures.
I guess you follow us. Not how I thought they were going. Hey Missy, hey everybody. I'm sorry to be ignoring your comments, but I'm driving, so I can't read and drive, or I'm going to run us right into a barricade. For those who are just tuning in, I believe that it's Sioux the bobcat and the blue carrier, and Lakota the bobcat and the white carrier. And that's Sioux, like the Indian nation. We used to have a Lakota here many, many years ago. Good morning, Tonga. Is this where we're getting off?
This is Catherine on property. We are over at Mr. Cage, getting ready to put the Bobcats in.
So what they'll do is put the carrier up to one of those tunnels there and let the cat in so that it can be completely away from them before they shut the door and get out of the cage, so they're not in the cage with the bobcat. Alyssa,
Hey, Kara,
you
how are
had
you?
fun on the rescue?
I did. It was a lot of fun.
Was it your first rescue?
It was. Yes.
Cool.
Hopefully, not the last, but it was definitely a good time. It was very interesting to see how these other places actually look, because it's so much different on camera than it is in real life. So, sights and smells and all kinds of stuff.
You guys go ahead and bring her in. Okay, so yeah, so you go to that corner over there. And then do you want her over by the platform over there? Okay, so set hers down over there by the platform. Set it so that you turn around.
Does anybody have scissors for the zip ties?
Good question. Do we have scissors for the zip ties? I have a knife. Give it to me. You call it. But ready to come out.
Oh, to cut the, shut this door.
There's one on the back of Jamie's car. Bobcat pushed it.
There's one right there. Oh, look, Sharon's right there. So Sharon might have.
Very aggressive.
Just like you brought one knife to a knife fight, I brought 18.
Yeah, exactly. She's not shy at all about,
Screw with that outside.
I don't know how to close that knife. him know we can go over here and try it on. He'll probably not be walking.
Jamie said we can go and try and let Sue out. Maybe if we all leave this area, he'll come out. Another push stick.
Yeah, do we have another stick? If
Yeah.
not,
Edith? Is this easier to do?
oh, yeah.
Looks less dangerous too. Nice try though.
She's all about charging the door until you open it.
Jill's right here. You can come get her.
She's like,
Come on.
posted and ready.
We didn't think they'd be so shy about this because they were so aggressive. Saber came out to watch. Hi, Saber. What's all this about? You got new neighbors? Got new bobcat neighbors? They are in the same enclosure, but we've shut the tunnel between them.
Yeah, because we're not gonna. Here, let me just keep her back.
So everybody's going to go do feeding and evacuate the area to give the bobcats some space so that maybe they will come out, taking all the carts away. We turned the carrier around for Lakota and Sioux so that they could see that there were other places they could hide in the cage instead of that carrier that they'd been stuck in for the last day. So Lakota is still holed up in the carrier, thinking it's a better option than the den. But Sioux decided to go check out her platform. And I've got to be quiet because the media is here and they're streaming. Sue is a skinny little bobcat. Yes, Daniel, that is Sue. Sioux and Lakota are 4 years old, so they're just now becoming adults. Battery dead? Is your battery dead?
It's just, I got to think of this. You here every day, I'm just enjoying the park. All these servers come out of nowhere.
Well, it's feeding time, so everybody's up juicing. Oh, I hear those breakfast wagons. I love that sound. It's Canada-like.
It's like a lake somewhere.
It's the coolest sound of the whole property. Did she go in the den? Did you find a good spot to hide? Looks like she is in her den now.
Possible they want me to go to line 15. It's the den.
In the den.
Probably not come back alone.
Sheena, are you ready for breakfast? Cats are all saying, I really hope these new guys aren't messing up our routine for breakfast. Alright, since there's nothing to see right now, I'm going to go ahead and sign off, and I'll bring you guys back if Lakota comes out. Hey everybody, I'm here with Jamie on the left and Afton on the right, and they are working on very little sleep after being on the road to rescue those bobcats from the Mobile Zoo, and my phone keeps going Caliwampus here. But they had some really interesting stories that didn't actually make it onto the news, so I thought you guys might want to hear what happened behind the scenes. A little closer to each other.
Oh, I have my personal zone of comfort though.
We've already spent a lot of time in the car, side by side.
Okay. One thing that happened was a peacock when we first got there was attacking the bumper of the truck because it was very shiny, and peacocks don't like other males that they think are more attractive or the same attractiveness as them.
I was gonna say.
He was like, "You're pretty handsome. I'm gonna beat you up." So we just kept. It sounded like somebody hitting our truck with a hammer.
Yeah.
And we had other things to deal with, but we figured out somewhere midway we had some sheets in the car, so we covered the truck with sheets and put all of our boots on top to hold
Shoes
the
and
sheet.
boots like a log and keeping the sheet in place. Although at one point he did move the sheet over and there was like a piece and he was like, "Oh, that guy again." And so he starts like attacking the car.
Were you guys sleeping in the car? What was going on that you were...
Sheets to cover the cages.
But how was this peacock attacking the car for so long? What were you
Because
guys
we
doing?
were
This was
trying
at
to
the
get
rescue site.
bobcats. Yeah.
Yeah, so-
They had lots of peacocks. They were
Dozens.
everywhere. And as soon as we pulled up, because we used to have peacocks, I heard one calling out, and this was before we entered the property, and I looked at Laura and I was like, "Peacocks. They have peacocks." But then when we decided to cover our car completely, he moved on to the animal welfare people's truck and was attacking that one.
Yeah. You could just hear every 5 minutes, bam, bam.
Peacocks everywhere.
Yeah.
And then we thought we'd be back around 8. We didn't realize until on our way there was a time change at some point. So it was exciting that like, ooh, we're getting there an hour earlier. And then we're like, oh man, we're getting there an hour later than we'd expect because of the time change. And then we always have to stop at the agricultural inspection buildings, and the first one, Jamie came, they want to look in the trailer. Okay, so she gets the keys, and like she grabs the keys, she goes, there's a lot of bees out here. And I was like, oh, like bees? Okay. And then she's like, I need my ID. So she comes back, she's like, I think there's more bees. And I was like, well, then let's put the window up. So I like climb over and I'm like putting her window up. And then she's like, okay, I gotta open the trailer now. And then we kind of need help with the trailer door. I got out, and when she said there were a lot of bees, I didn't think that there was gonna be that many bees, but like hundreds of bees.
Yeah, they
Hundreds
were
of
swarming.
bees.
I think they were maybe attracted to the bright colors of our trailer. Like,
And they liked the tires of the trailer,
Yeah.
but they liked the trailer, so we just opened the door like, can you peek in from here? Because we don't want to let the bees in stuck with these bobcats.
Wow.
Apparently it was the biggest day of the month, I think, that bees come in and out from like other
California
states.
or something.
Yeah. So
they have like a time window that they have to transport bees, because we actually passed a semi on the road.
So
and I
they're
saw-
hauling them in semis?
yeah, and they're not in a box. They're just all the wooden bee crates are just stacked on
with
the back
like
of a flatbed.
screens over them.
Yeah.
Because when we passed by the semi, it's like there are like bugs moving in that thing, and I was like, "What's in there?" I was like, "Those are all bees." Like that's probably the bees that we saw.
So yeah, they wanted to look in the back, and there's just bees everywhere. I'm like, can I just crack it open? I don't want to like open it and then all the bees go inside with the bobcats.
That would be terrible.
Yeah, I don't really like bees either. They're like, "Oh, they won't even bother you," and I'm just like dodging bee after bee. Like, okay, we're good, right? Can we just keep going?
Oh gosh.
What were the conditions there?
I mean, they're pretty typical of a small roadside zoo, like chain link cages, really short.
Really short.
Lots.
For tall people.
Yeah. We were like trying to catch the bobcat.
And the
like
nets,
this.
we couldn't even stand the nets up and down. It was short, so it was like trying to finagle your net like, with it not fitting high enough.
The chain link wasn't tacked down very
my
well,
gosh.
so like only about every maybe 2.5 feet there it was tied down, so you could pull it up. It was very loose.
And she actually had to hog ring the ceiling chain link back to the side because there was like a decent gap. They probably could have gotten out if they thought about it.
Wow.
Yeah, it was definitely not clean for months and months. There was poop everywhere, bones, spinal columns of
Whole
animals.
spinal column of an animal.
It was so gross.
There was some dog food in there. I don't know if that's what they were trying to feed them.
Like wet food? Not
No,
dry food?
just dry kibble all over the floor.
All over the floor.
And but they had chicken quarters too that morning.
Yeah, because I don't know who would put those in there. I don't know. Because when we pulled up, they're like, the bobcats are in there, and one of them had a big chicken cord in his mouth and was just like patrolling the neighborhood.
And Jamie told them, don't feed them the day before to make it easier for us to catch them. And what do? They throw in chicken quarters.
Well, it was. I don't think they had any say because it was a surprise like seizure, so they didn't go in the day before and say, "Don't feed your animals." I'm not going to tell you why, but yeah. And there was no safety entrance on the cage, so luckily we take wire with us and we're able to build one. The keeper was trying to convince us that they won't go out.
No, just
I was like, no thanks.
Take your stuff in.
I am not going to be on the news for big rescue let a bobcat out in a t-shirt today. No thanks.
So you had all the tools and everything to build a safety entrance?
Yep.
Built a safety entrance.
Finagled one.
Big enough for 4 people?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
One at a time.
Yeah, I went in with a carrier by myself, and then Alyssa and Lauren went in with a carrier by themselves. And they told us that their door only opened
after we
into
did
our
the whole
safety
thing
gate
done.
we made. And Jimmy's like, "Oh no, it doesn't!" Like lifted up the top and pushed it the other way. We're like, "Oh, that works."
Like this has got to go
Because
the other
there would
way.
be no way to get people or a carrier in there and open the door because we were already in like a really, really tight spot.
Yeah, and so then once we were all in there with all our stuff and our people and the bobcats, there really wasn't much space left, and we just had to pick one and decide to net
Tripping
it.
over logs, and I just like pick up and throw it somewhere. Okay, we're fine. Let's go.
So we're netting Lakota, and meanwhile Sue is like jumping over our heads, like running around the enclosure. Like, don't
What's it
worry.
like to net a 4-year-old?
They're pretty fast.
They're active. Yeah, very active. And we didn't know if they were clawed or not. And we
Are
now,
they? I thought
yes,
they were.
they are fully clawed. Yes.
You saw them? I
Yeah.
never really saw for sure.
In the nets, they were like clinging on to the nets. But so it was like our plan was kind of like, let's try and just kind of get them both netted and we'll go from there. And it turned out to 4 of us trying to net just one because they were like bouncing all over the place and then trying to watch your back for the other one.
Meanwhile, like we get the first one netted, and I look up, and there's like every authority on the property videotaping
us with their phones. I'm like, oh, because when we first went in, they both like it's like you want to concentrate on getting one, but when they're both running everywhere, we're like trying to figure out like let's just pick one, the big one, let's do that one.
Alyssa and Lauren, I think, were kind of like taking a back seat at first. They were like behind us, and I was like, no, like if it goes near you, put a net on it. Like everybody's fair game here. Everybody can net the cat.
So Alyssa actually did net the first one, and you were the top net, and then you netted the second one.
First netting.
Yeah, she's been in there like blocking a den if we went in or something, but not actually catching the actual animal.
That's a thrill.
So her and Alyssa caught the first one, and her and I caught the second one. They were just so fast, and it's like we wanted to kind of like. We created like a little barricade, but they didn't care about that. They were jumping through us. And it was like, oh man.
And people are asking who you are that just signed on. So that's Jamie, and that is Afton. Jamie's my daughter, our vice president, married to our vet. Afton is our film crew.
Yeah, film crew. So I was doing all kinds of filming. I started with the big camera. And then when it got time to go to work, I just strapped on a head camera. I have footage on my phone, 2 other cameras. Like it's everywhere. Wherever I could just get a camera out of some sort, I was filming something.
And people are asking if there were other animals there, if there's any animals left behind.
Yeah. There was a really sweet pig. We were trying to feed fruit too.
We're making friends with all the animals there.
Kind of. There was ostrich that they were interestingly moving with like a cage that wasn't stationary, so they just would pick it up and were walking this ostrich that was probably like 4 feet taller than they were. Wow. So they just pick up the cage for people and walk.
Like with no floor in the bottom, so he's just walking on the ground.
Yeah, and they're just walking a cage around him, and then he would stop for a break, so they'd set the cage down and give him a second, and then they're like, all right, Fred, let's go.
I didn't see how they got him in the trailer or where.
I didn't see that because they walked towards the bear side. There was, well, yes, definitely tons of peacocks. There was a rooster that they wanted caught because I tried to help them catch that, but he didn't like me in my net. And
they're wily.
There was a big swan that was there, a big white swan, and we saw, I think, was there 3 bears? Because I only saw 2 bears. They were sedated, and they had a rescue crew taking them out at the same time we were dealing with the bobcats.
And the bears were going to Wild Animal Sanctuary in Colorado, if you guys are interested. We had talked to Pat Craig because originally they were going to send all of the animals out to Colorado. And we have so many empty little cat cages because so many of our bobcats from back in 1993, 94, and 95 are now in their 20s or mid-20s and have passed away. And so I said, we've got lots of space for the little cats. And he said, well, fine, if you can get the people to work with you, go right ahead. And so the Mobile Animal Control was responsive and helped us get permits and health certificates. You guys had to wait a while for that.
Yeah,
I understand.
It took a while for the vet to show up.
But and then he had to call like the state and get a certificate number, and it was very complicated.
But everybody was really nice to work with, and they kind of just gave us our space and let us do our thing, besides the amount of people that were filming us trying to actually get that.
They want to see somebody get killed by a bobcat. And there was another cat that was supposed to be picked up. It was a serval, but unfortunately the owner was trying to sell the serval, and we were told that he had spirited the cat off the property to his veterinarian in Mississippi. I don't know why an Alabama facility has their vet in Mississippi. You wouldn't think they could practice veterinary medicine across state lines like that. No. But apparently that's where he's hiding his serval. And
they don't have jurisdiction there, so they can't do anything about it.
That's a shame. God only knows what kind of condition that cat's being kept in. Probably some crate in some noisy dog barking veterinary clinic.
But yeah, the place in general is just really, it just looked abandoned. It was overgrown, all the cages were in disrepair.
Yeah.
And it looked like an abandoned.
It was like, you guys closed down, and like the office, like the paperwork was just like, all right, I'm out of here. Like, it was very, very abandoned. Like you're in some like sketchy abandoned town. You woke up and everybody was gone because we're walking around. We're like, this is really creepy.
It was, and then you don't know. Like there was a barn that had reptiles and stuff in it, and you don't know if all the animals did get placed elsewhere or if there's a python running around. Like
don't know.
Yeah.
Because that does happen a lot where they just turn animals loose that they think might be able to survive.
Because some of the safety gates, well, not safety gates, but what we would call a barricade to get to the cage had locks on them. So it's like, I don't know if anybody's even been back there or.
I think that was maybe because they didn't have a perimeter fence. So they had like these tall perimeter fences around the cages. And so they didn't have like a short barricade that you look through to see the animals. It was like a tall fence the same size as a cage almost.
Huh.
Yeah.
And people are asking if they can buy that sweatshirt with the Big Cat Rescue logo. Do we have those available?
I think we have those on
Minus
online.
the staff.
Minus the staff, yeah.
Yeah, you can't have that part. And I'm glad you asked that about the t-shirt because Jamie made some really cool bobcat designs that says, I help rescue bobcats to help us fund this rescue. So if you guys go to bigcatrescue.biz, B-I-Z, bigcatrescue.biz, and just type in the search bar, I help rescue bobcats, you'll find 2 new t-shirt designs and a new cup, a new mug with, I think, Nabisco on it, and a bobcat plushie, and there was one other item, a magnet that says I help rescue bobcats. So there's something for everybody there, and that helps us fund these kinds of rescues. Helps buy you guys some Big Macs on the road.
Yeah, it was funny after we left, like I think everybody fell asleep for a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like all that adrenaline.
Adrenaline, right.
And then you crash.
Well, yeah,
we were there.
Hopefully the driver did not fall asleep for a while.
No, anxious, and then like you're kind of nervous because you're not really sure you're in a cage with 2 bobcats and you don't know these bobcats. It's different if like we have to net one of our cats, at least we know what they're like. But this was
they're
like,
toothless because they're 20 years old.
But this is like, hey, here's some young bobcats, go catch them. So it was like, we looked confident on the outside, but as soon as it was done, they were in the carriage, everybody's hands were like shaking, like, what just happened? I like blacked out, I went into work mode, got them in, and was like, whoa.
Well, nice work, ladies.
Thanks.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We will check in on those cats later. Hey everybody, it's Carol and Jamie at Big Cat Rescue, and she says Lakota just loves enrichment. So what's in the tube?
Oregano.
Oh, oregano. Oh, look at him on his platform. He's so cute. He's got the biggest eyes. Should I go in or should I stay back? I'll stay back. Yeah. We're just really happy that he's staying on the platform. And I'm sorry it's so shaky, but I didn't know we were going to do this. Are you going to check it out? Are you going to check that out? He loves it. Well, the good news is I can see your comments and your likes and your loves. Thank you very much. Doesn't look like Lakota's going to go after that enrichment Jamie handed him. Oh, maybe he is. There he goes. He's starting to get up. Are you getting up? Check it out. Tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, Jamie is going, 7:30 p.m. Is that when your thing is? Tonight at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Jamie will be giving her Bobcat Rehab program, and it's going to be an all-new one. It's going to be really good. So we're going to try and do that Facebook Live. So be sure and check with us at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time tonight. And Lakota looks like he might wake up from his nap and check out that enrichment. Poor thing's probably never had enrichment before.
He's had it every day since he got here.
Well, I meant before he got here. I hope you guys saw Wyatt's release today. That was really wonderful. Hey, Vivica. Good afternoon, Jimmy and Debbie and Christy. For those who are just tuning in, this is Lakota, the bobcat we rescued last week. And Jamie has discovered that he really likes enrichment. So she just gave him a little toilet paper tube full of oregano. But he had just woke up from his nap and he's a little suspicious because there's two of us. So Jamie's walking away to see if maybe he'll come down. I'm going to back up here. Check it out, Lakota. Maybe if he starts playing with it, we can move up a little closer. Hey, Susan. We're watching Lakota get some enrichment. But he just woke up and he's not sure that he wants to come down with two people standing here. So Jamie has walked away. I've backed up. I'm gonna keep backing up and see if I can get far enough away that he'll think it's safe. I have a really bad angle on the sun here. Well, if he starts playing with it, I will log back in. But meanwhile, tonight, check back with us at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, because Jamie is going to be doing her very wonderful Bobcat Rehab presentation. Everybody always loves that one.